Is February 5th, and we are what it is to be human. I'm so excited to hear. Last week we left off with Lori was going to come and bring us the topic today. Hey, Kay. Okay.
All
Oh,
right.
wait. I can hear hold on. There's a little bit of a lag, but anyway. All right. So let's start with Lori today. What have you got for us?
So the topic I've been thinking about is how sometimes modalities like human design or the tarot, people like love those modalities, but they don't necessarily tie it into getting like health, wealth, or relationship results or getting like real life results. So it seems like, oh, this fun thing you did, you had this aha moment, and then people don't necessarily actually apply it to their life. So I know a lot of us
Bingo.
I know a lot of us on here do those modalities and help other people with those modalities. So that's the topic I would really like to bring up and discuss is being able to relate those modalities to practical life concerns.
Okay.
Great topic.
Yes, I
think-
agree.
I think one of the things that comes to mind is even if you took away these modalities, like, hey, Lori, let's pretend nobody can use tarot or human design. The ego will latch on to the next thing that loves being entertained, but doesn't get inspired to work on ourselves because it is not an overnight thrill to change yourself, but it is an instant gratification to be told all about who the ego is. I mean,
The ego loves to hear who they are.
how many people, I just had this last week. I had a strategy and a offering creation session with somebody. They were in tears on the call. They were thrilled. They were over the moon. Like, oh my God, you saved me months of having to struggle. Woo! And then 3 days later, she wrote me and said, well, this just doesn't align at all. This doesn't feel like, no, I'm not doing this. Oh, because you had to work a little? The tears were fun, but the work isn't fun. Like, okay.
Yeah, I would say a lot of it is the implementation. The aha
Yeah.
moments are actually the fun part.
Yes.
And the
Yes.
implementation part, that's the hard work part.
All right, Anda, tell us what you think because she's got some thoughts, I can tell.
I really agree with all of it, but there is that I really touched that hard part, okay? Implementation. Um, Everyone is very clever, everyone is wise, most of the people can tap into everything. Implementation. And then there comes time to go, let's say, live on TikTok. Hands start shaking, voice is shaking, switches on fight or flight mode, and that's it. It's not about the maybe people don't want to do, they are not able to do. And then comes maybe some kind of deeper work. Why? Because just like what human design helps me as a person, as a human, and as a coach as well, I can see the roadmap. So we are here, ideal parties, we're going there, so we are aligning, we are deconditioning, and now comes moment when you actually have to do something. And that's it, because that conditioning part is so strong that it's not possible. If you freeze, you never will go on live on TikTok. I'm going like in really like from one side to the other side. It's not necessary to do TikTok lives, but even to open a government account and register the company. For some people, it goes boom, boom, boom. That's it, because there is something behind. And then what tools we use for it? to overcome to actually reach the goal. Roadmaps is really good thing as a roadmaps. But what if the car breaks down somewhere in the middle? Are we prepared to fix it, or we know to
Oh,
call
that's a really
somebody?
good, I like that analogy, Anda. So the astrology or the framework we're using, whether it's human design, whatever you're using, has a system, like a system to it, a method, right?
Exactly.
But if to use it and your car breaks down on the map, right, then you can't go anywhere, right?
I really like those tools because, and that's my personal experience as a projector. Full world is with generator and manifesting generator coaches. No, for definitely for the for projector, right? So I had to find my own way. And what I literally did when you see when you look in how you call it gates, right? And then there is the gene keys, and it gives those shadow parts, and it gives
Yeah.
that what it says aligned parts
The
or like
city, yeah,
yeah.
the
So
city, yeah.
and when we look into those, I can say yes. 10 years ago I was there, then I was there, but it gives that direction. I was there, but where I'm actually going. Because sometimes, maybe, I'm not saying always, sometimes maybe the destined, in our mind, the destined destination is not where we need to be. And that can create that, oh no, as well, because soul speaks through and says, no, no, that's not your way. You don't have time anymore for going like sideways or drive all around the Grand Canyon just to be 100 meters on the left side, right?
Yeah, okay.
I think if we look into, I really don't like generalize. Yes, in general, it is people cannot get where they want to be, but why? It's like really, really depends. Sometimes that can be something huge. Sometimes it's just like, that allegory about when they tie the little elephants around the leg tied to the tree, and they think that they cannot go away. And then when they grow up, they take off the chains and they stay there because they don't know that they can go away.
Oh,
That was going to be one of my points too. And Lori, you brought up the three most common modalities is tarot, astrology, and human design. They're all very esoteric. Most people spend years getting good at the system, but that's still, first, I think people are very execution phobic because, to Anda's point, the perception of the situation they're trying to solve can be overwhelming or too large or seem certain things. Or if you're like me, you've got impatience, you want to get there faster than you are supposed to. When I did tarot for people, the challenge was that they liked the attention, and I wrote this in an essay on why I quit being an advisor like that, is you want attention more than you want strategy. And that's not what I'm here for. I don't want to see you 6 weeks in a row and say the same thing. Hopefully I can say it once strongly, you hear it, and you apply it for 6 weeks, and once it's done, kind of like getting your allowance. I get my money when my room's clean. I don't have to keep asking my dad. I get $5 if I clean my room. Yes. Next week, I get $5 if I clean my room. Right? That rerun. And
Yeah, that's
that's
kind of why my signature program is 6 weeks, especially with what I do, because I know implementation takes time and it also takes time to see those cumulative results. So that's why I made it 6 weeks. It's not because you wouldn't have the aha moment like in one session, like that happens. Like you could get that in like the first 5 minutes. But I know where the struggle is, and that's the implementation part. That's where people do need those reminders. And like I would agree, not everybody wants to do accountability. It's not everybody's zone of genius. I mean, for me, I like doing accountability. I like to remind people of stuff. I don't have a problem with it. I reminded people again today that, oh, I have this networking event, so it's something I'm really good at. It's something I like. But I also understand where not everybody wants to sit with somebody, hold their hand, hold them accountable, and say, you got this aha moment now. Like, did you do the thing that you said you were going to do? Did you apply it? And provide
Yeah, I
support.
agree. I agree. And I think for my own self, I know that a lot of my a lot of my coaching has always been, it started with that. And I am in human design, the right angle cross of planning. So helping people plan and execute and be in their heart space as they try to stretch and spread their wings. Yeah. But I find people who especially like have those threes in their charts. Um, like I happen to know Anda and Kay both have threes. Um, it's interesting because you'll be experimenting with a lot of different things and a lot of different people in a lot of different ways, and it may like and sixes too. I mean, like Beck, you've got a six in your chart, and so do you, Lori. I mean, that it takes mastery, like do it over and over and over again. The thing that you, so if you learn something about yourself in a chart and you want to get to there, but you're over here and you're like, but I want that, then the best thing to do is probably sit in it and say, what is it about the thing that I'm resisting? And that's probably where you actually want to put some attention. Because if we don't resist, if we move through it, transcend it, then it isn't an issue. It doesn't keep you stuck anymore. And that's so interesting because as I said that, I just realized that my word for this year was transcend. My spirit team always gives me a word every year, and the word this year was transcend. I'm like,
You bring up another word that matters is resistance. And Lori, I love that you said that you like accountability. I'm a growth junkie for myself and my clients or students, but for my own personal, you know, irritation of the universe, I am a completion freak. I love the word done. The sooner I can kill a list of shit to do, the more you will see me walk on water. It is amazing. It is my favorite substance in the universe, but that's really personal. I have rebranded my astrology instead of people getting to know how they're designed, and I've taken it one layer further, is I call it leadership astrology, is how can you be your own best tool for what you need to do in your own life. And it's worked really well because it takes away the resistance, or what I would say, because Lori and I like accountability, we don't like excuses. And a lot of people will go, well, I guess I'm just this, or oh, it says this in my chart, or oh, the gene key says I can't. And it's because it's so esoteric and because it's so alternative as far as a way to learn yourself or how you're designed. I get a lot of people punking out. I do, and I'm not going to have the TED Talk like, this is just an axiom, this is just a, construct, you're bigger, you have free will. No, I don't get into it. If you want to sit there and say, I'm stuck, then be stuck.
that's true. It's a choice. So that's interesting. So back to your point then, Lori, what do you think now that we've kind of fleshed it out a little bit? Are you finding like you still think it's like what did you want? What did you think we were going to say about it? What did you want us to be saying about it?
Know what you guys were going to be saying about it. I know that it's definitely a thing, and I know also for me in terms of learning how to apply the modality, like one of the things I did tarot readings and I wanted to apply it to marketing, but it's like, okay, but it's not just giving people like random stuff to do so that they stand out. It's like, okay, how does this actually apply? And when I started applying it to how people are networking, I'm like, networking is a journey, and the tarot just, it shows like various
It's a
stages
journey. Yeah.
in journey. So it's like, it's very applicable because it relates to that journey piece. It's not just, oh, let's just pick random things and then that'll be your strategy. No, it's like, okay, this is part of your journey. So like, how does this apply to where you are, what's holding you back, and then what you can do to get over it. So it's
Right.
also part of the solution, but it's applying it to your life and to what works for you. So it's just giving you that different perspective.
What have
Yeah,
you,
Beck, what do you think here? I'm just curious because she's like,
I know.
I
I
know
was
you're
just
just talking about leadership the other day. Yeah.
we've talked about leadership, and completion also is something that you were talking about, how you love completion. I don't like that. Like, I get this, ooh, like, I don't want to finish it. I don't know why, but I just want to keep it right there. I want to get to the end, and then I don't want to let it go. So I'm not really sure what that's all about, but yeah, I think taking those and actually getting the substance, getting the deep out of it, instead of just, oh, I got this little tarot reading and now I know about this little one thing, but applying it to your life and your business and structuring that totally makes sense.
Yeah, I think Kay, you had a brilliant insight there where you're talking about feeding the ego versus, the ego is to be human. One of the things is we really benefit from distinguishing what's ego and what's your soul, is how I say it.
And you can see that if you're scrolling on a certain platform, because people who are reading tarot, people are on there just to feed their ego. They're just constantly asking like that same question and then going on. It's like,
Will T talk to me again? Will Jay come back to my life?
does
And
so
I've been
and
like,
so love me?
yeah.
No,
Will I get married this year?
for every
no, get over.
question, for every
That's, I mean, it is so much
No,
of
the answer
that.
is no.
That's
If you have
ego.
to ask, the answer is no.
That's ego.
there,
Yes.
you know what, everyone's part of that shadow side of, there are just as many crappy readers or facilitators as there are crappy clients. There are plenty out there like, oh, guess what I see in the cards? Oh, everyone, buckle up. It's gonna be horrible. Thanks.
Yeah.
Buckle up, bitches.
Or you
This
see
is what
people
your
going,
astrology is now.
no, yes, no. It's like that's it. It's like there's
Yeah.
I'd be
Go
curious.
ahead, Anda. Anda's gonna say something. She just had a big thought.
No, I just like rewired back a little bit back what we were
Bless you.
talking about. Thank you. What we were talking about to making the strategy, but not being able to keep to it. So to get somewhere, because I think if when people are seeking for the help or whatever, they have this idea about that they want to be in a different spot in a field of infinite possibilities, right? It's just, I remember not so long ago, a client, when she reached out, um, she was in a bad place, like really, but she would go around with this idea for 10 years. And that moment, and I think everyone had it at some moment, that feeling inside when you know that life life is supposed to be different. And maybe one day it will happen, but we are still living in that old life. And maybe one day everyone has those far, far dreams, right? And when she reached out, she was exactly in that place. She's like, I just would want to see if this is just an illusion or it's actually possible. I have this dream, and it was so abstract dream, and it emotionally in quite bad place, in a quite shit job. And I was like, I'm quite tight with my timings, but if we can squeeze it all in 1 week, literally in 1 week, 3 sessions, and then go from there and see how it unfolds. And it was 9 days since discovery call till the end of the third session. But when she already came into the third session, she had mapped out herself. I didn't. That's not my job. I'm not business coach, right? She had proper offer, so clear, with everything perfectly in a place. And then when we went into third session, we could have a look what is there, what holds back maybe to start take first steps, and then figure out do we need further additional sessions to actually make it happen. But I'm not doing for them. I'm just there.
Right.
To be honest, mostly, I don't know how it works with my energy, my projectors, or whatever it is. I just need to be there for things to happen. And because just one, and
That's true.
what she said was just one sentence what I told her in a discovery call already shifted like that.
Yeah.
In the first session, she came with the, oh, I'm going for it. In the second session, she came in, she was like, oh, you know what? I start remember a lot of things I was thinking about it. She was pulling out old notes. And in the third session, she came in with the proper offer and everything.
I do think that these tools, these modalities are all helpful, but they're
Yeah,
just the beginning of a story. I mean,
yes.
they're not,
It's just,
you can
I'm bragging
you can
now.
plop
That's
yourself
success
in.
story. I just
Yeah.
remember about, pulling, oh, we spoke tonight. I'm just bragging really. But yeah,
No,
it
it's brilliant.
makes me quite happy to see the result. I'm quite wonder, like, oh, if somebody will tell me what to do, I will tell them where to go. And if somebody will come after me for accountability, I just will block it. So I'm kind of like absolutely different person.
So Anna's like, just do what I say, not what I do. Just
They just
pay no attention to the grand
um
Oz over here.
yeah,
Just
but
do what I told you to do and go away.
I like, however, I really like those complete things.
Mm.
And I think complete things like complete self-assessment for the tax year or something like that, all those things. It's like being an adult.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like yeah.
It's like
Okay.
it's
Like
quite
so many
okay to
people get
adulting. It's quite okay. Yeah.
yeah. So many
I'm
people get caught up in
curious
the one
if
day or the someday, like Anda was saying, instead of like, oh, that'll happen one day, that'll happen someday, and then years and years go by. So
Yeah.
I would love everyone starting with Lori because she said another word that is my jam is implementation. Is I don't like staying up in the idea factory too long. Um, whatever of those modalities, I don't care if it's tarot, astrology, or human design, I'd love everyone to share what they applied that worked for them so that people who are listening have an example to get out of the but what about me? Tell me more about me is how did you succeed with whatever modality you had?
I'll go first. So learning my human design completely changed my life because I could not understand why I had all these great insights and ideas would come to me and I would tell people, and it was like I was invisible. Like nobody would listen to me. They would either they would totally dismiss my ideas, like, whatever, or they literally just didn't hear me. And then later on would be doing the thing I told them and they'd be thinking it was their own idea. And I was like, wow, way to really feel invisible. This is nuts. Why? Why am I so invisible? Well, then I started in human design, just even knowing that projectors need the invitation or like just do better with the invitation. Like there's a whole invitation thing. When I waited for the invitation instead, yeah, it's frustrating because I can see a lot of things clearly, like for other people that I'm like, I want to tell them what to do, and they won't hear that. But if someone says, "Hey, Jenny, can you help me with this?" I've been invited, and now all my geniuses like make it lands and it hits and with the right people who are ready and want it. And that was the distinction for me that made me grow as a coach too. You know, I mean, they'll teach you as a coach that to remain unattached to the outcome, and it's about the other person, not you. But it goes even deeper than that. I mean, this is the being my projectorness is truly off-putting for some people. I have a big penetrating aura, and I don't know. But learning about it is what really helped me change then how I work as a coach, like how I work in my business and stuff. And knowing that I need to be invited means I don't need to be out on a megaphone screaming out to the masses because they're not going to hear me. So what am I doing? Right? Big waste of my time. Anyway, that's my answer. Who's next?
I
Oh,
can do it.
yeah, tarot for me has been a lot about making aligned decisions. Because I think I would get, caught up in that people pleasing or like wanting to do something and then be like, oh, but is it really the right choice? And I started, applying the tarot cards to like networking because sometimes there are two events that you could go to and you can't be at both. So you've got to choose one or the other. So you have to make some kind of a decision, or you could not go to either one. But usually if I'm making a decision, it's like, okay, I've already got a couple options. Either I'm going to do the thing or I'm not going to do it. I'm going to go to this event or I'm going to go to that event. So I started using it like in decision making. Sometimes,
Oh, that's cool.
sometimes it was like really clear which one I should do and which one I should skip. Sometimes they both had like good points, or like both would be good. Occasionally I would get a reading where it's like neither one of these things is a good option. And if both looked really bad, I would usually put another option on the table at that point because maybe I'm not I'm not making a decision that's like good. Um, and so I started
Okay.
using it for that. And in terms of when I started applying it to the networking and helping people with their networking journey, I realized with the tarot that it allows people to get to what's in their way a lot quicker than just asking questions. Because, like, oh, I pulled this card. Like, how does that resonate with you? Like, what do you see when you see the Tower or the Emperor or like whatever I pulled?
Right.
And how does it apply to like, your situation? And I can give, because I've memorized all the card meanings, so I can give like a general interpretation in that specific context. So it's not like, oh, this is just, I'm not like reading from a list. It's like, okay, this is how it applies to networking, to like what you're dealing with. And then they have their own aha moment. Like, yeah. So maybe at first they think it doesn't apply, but then they're like, yeah, that does apply. This is how it applies. And then it gets them to talk deeper about what's getting in their way and how they can get out of their own way, because that's really what it's about, is getting out of your own way when it comes to networking, because that's where people are. They're in their own way. And I know because I've been in my own way too on this
I
stuff.
think it's with everything. Yeah, exactly.
I
That's
love that
cool.
answer, and I think that closing of the gap is why astrology broke me awake like nothing else. Is to have had ideas in my childhood of my destiny or my purpose, and then getting in your own way is ideas about that and not being able to see something clearly about that, not understanding what I am versus the identity construct. And that is what astrology, that's how I use it, is to bring people back to their origin and their best direction, not all these characters that they can play. And so now it's easy to have a one track mind instead of running around all over the place like some scavenger hunt in life.
Love it. Beck, what's yours?
Uh, human design made a huge difference with me because it helped me see and understand a lot of the things the way that I do things. And I'm like, oh, now it all makes sense. I'm a 4/6 manifesting generator. So, and triple split definition. So the thing of needing to be around people and needing to do different things, it just kind of all made sense. It's like I'm not just out there being, which I can be, scatterbrained, so to say, but the triple split definition, it's a part of who I am. I need to see it, and hear it in different ways, and then I get that and then it makes sense. So I love that. And then as far as the making the decisions, like Lori was saying, a lot of times I'll use my pendulum for that. If it's like, okay, I think I want to do this, but I've got that shiny, whatever going on, like, so I'll get out my pendulum and I'll just ask. I'll be like, okay, is this one right for me? Is this good for me? Whatever. And it helps guide me into that, making the decision.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
that's a good question. Thank you, Kay.
Sure.
So listen, guys, we're going to wrap it up. Come back next week when we talk about other things about what it is to be human. I do think using these tools, great question, great topic, Lori, bringing to the table. Who's going to bring next week? Who's going to be the conversation fire starter? Any
Let's say
volunteers?
back.
All right, Beck, you're up.
Okay.
And if you're watching this and you want to be up here with us, just go over to the Soulmate Structure Facebook group where the Zoom link is, and you can come and join us too, and you can be a part of this discussion.